What is up, guys? Today we are talking about how to upgrade your Mazdaspeed fuel system. Now today we're looking at my 8th port fuel rail, which would be this fuel rail, and how we're gonna set it up so that we can make some more power. Alright, so as you guys know, Mazdaspeeds are direct injection stock, which means the injectors go directly into the cylinders. Now as you can see, this would be a port injection setup. So what that means is that these extra injectors, so this is a fuel rail right here, this black thing is the fuel rail, obviously, and then you've got your injectors right here, each one for each cylinder. My intake manifold is this shiny new thing that I've got on there. But as you can see, the stock fuel rail here has the injectors that go directly into the cylinders. So you cannot upgrade the stock injectors. There's no company that makes upgraded injectors, nor would they work. The way that the ECU tunes the car, it cannot adjust the stock fuel injectors, I guess. So you have to run it this way, where you add more injectors. So not only will I have the primary 4 injectors on the bottom, but I'll have 4 new ones on top. Now these are ID 1050 injectors on the fuel rail that goes to my new 16W Fabworks intake manifold. But basically, when I'm in higher RPMs and I'm on boost, those injectors will start spraying to make up for the amount of fuel that you need, of course. Now my tuner will take care of all the tuning side of things. He'll make sure it works really well and it runs the way it needs to. I need to just make sure I have the setup done correctly. So the plan is I'm going to be taking the stock fuel feed line. Now actually I'm running a returnless style fuel system, which is the stock fuel system, or how the stock system works. You could run a return style fuel system, but there's a little bit more that goes into it. So I'm going to show you this way, and I'll get to the other ways you could do it at the end of the video. But if you're looking at my engine bay right here, as you can see over here, this is the stock feed right here. So this line that has the blue clip and it goes back right here, that's the stock feed line that goes back to my fuel pump back here. So my fuel pump is back in there. As you can see, it was all taken apart. But what we're gonna need to do is we're gonna need to take this piece off, this line, which should be my feed line. We're gonna need to run a new line that connects back there to the stock feed. It's gonna route all the way around, go under the intake manifold probably, and connect to this side right here. So basically what that's doing is it's gonna send fuel into this rail, then the rail is gonna exit over here, and I'm gonna have a line from there, from the feed line right here, from the fuel rail right here. It's gonna go to where the high pressure fuel pump is right here. So what that's gonna do is it'll pressurize this rail first, then it'll send fuel to the high pressure fuel pump. Then once there's fuel at the high pressure fuel pump, it's gonna pressurize it, and it's gonna send it from here around down into here where my stock fuel rail is. So basically what we're doing is we're putting the new fuel rail, this one, my 8th port fuel rail, we're putting that in between where the feed line would go to my high pressure fuel pump. So basically what it's doing is it's gonna pressurize the new fuel rail before it pressurizes the stock fuel line, or fuel rail, excuse me. So that way both of them will have fuel pressure, and we will have fuel being sent through all 8 injectors. Now I upgraded my fuel pump to an Aeromotive Stealth fuel pump, and that's just a drop-in fuel pump that should be capable of like 500-ish, 450-ish wheel horsepower. Not really sure what the limit will be. We'll figure it out and we'll go from there if we want to make more power. But this is the returnless style that I said, so there's no return line that goes back to the pump. It's the way that the stock, the stock system would work, which is really nice because it's a lot easier to run. Now, a lot of people will run like a fuel cell, a secondary fuel cell, and they'll run a secondary pump in that one, or they'll just run a lot larger pump in their stock, fuel tank, and they'll have to modify their top hat, which would be this guy right here. Let me show you guys. The top hat is just the top of it, which is this. So the fuel pump is located under there. So some people will modify this thing so that it has another line going to it, a return line, but mine I did not. So this is the feed right here. That's what you see in the engine bay, is this feed line. I'll show you up at the engine bay one more time. That line that goes all the way up here is this line right here. You see it connects right there. So that's the stock feed line, and it's pretty simple the way I'm running it. If you guys see any other ways that I should you know, try to change it, or any better ways to do something, let me know in the comments. But this is the plan for my fuel system. I'm sorry that my car is still not running. It's getting close, but this is the last thing we got to do, is just get this fuel system done, and we can finally turn her on and make some power. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this helps. I'll have update videos as I get more done on the fuel system, but this is the main way that I'm gonna run it, and hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video.